Finally, 1,000 horsepower is the minimum needed to extract a smile from your face over and over and over. It just makes me giddy and giggle like a little kid. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Miami Miles. My name's Mickey. In today's episode, I am in beautiful Las Vegas. That's right, boys. For those of you that don't know, before I was in Miami, I used to live in Las Vegas for basically my entire life. So now I am here visiting family. Now, you know, because I love my cars, I decided to get my hands on yeah, buddy, Tesla Model S Plaid, the fastest car in the world. On this channel, I've debated, should I get the car? Should I cancel it? Should I get the CT5V Blackwing? What is my daily driver? Well, I wanted to test this thing out because I used to have a reservation down on one of the first cars to hit Miami, and then I canceled that just as the car was about to arrive. And secondly, about a couple weeks ago, I decided to make a second reservation. I was like, you know what? This car could be something spectacular, and I don't want to miss out on owning something so special. So I've got a car incoming to Miami. The question is, am I gonna keep it or am I gonna cancel that reservation as well? Well, that was my reasoning behind getting my hands on one now. I've actually had a chance to live with this car for 24 hours to really see if it gives me the right tingles, the right fizz, the right emotion. But guys, in short, you know, at first it was hard for me to bond with this car and I had a bunch of reservations, but after 24 hours, those opinions have transformed. I'm actually starting to fall in love. So in this video, what am I gonna do, guys? I am gonna go for a ride. I'm gonna tear this thing up on Vegas streets, and I'm gonna tell you if it's got those magical hands that come up and, you know, give us the magical massages that we love so much here in Miami Miles. How does this thing drive? How does it make you feel? Does it give you emotion, right? Because that's all I care about in a driving experience. Electric cars, if you've never been in one, they're not the most emotional things. They build speed in a way that's so seamless that speed becomes commoditized. It no longer becomes a thing of emotion. It just becomes a thing that the car does. Is this car one of those examples? Before we go for this nice drive, I'm going to give you an overview over the controls of the car from a driving perspective. So right away, guys, we are greeted by the famous yoke. You know, the steering wheel that's brought so much attention to this vehicle. Now, guys, from a driving perspective, it's honestly one of the coolest and most gimmicky things I've ever seen in my entire life. Is it necessary? No. Honestly, it feels like they took a remote control from the PS5 and a regular steering wheel from, let's say, the Tesla Model 3, and they had a little bit of a sexy time, and this was the outcome. Now, from a driving perspective, it's quite cool because it feels like you are in a video game, especially when you put this car in Plaid mode. You do the launches, you do the 60 to 130s, which I've done multiple of since I've had the car. Every single time you do, you're holding onto the steering wheel at 9 and 3, and the car just feels like an absolute video game. So from a feel perspective, to make you feel special, very cool piece of machinery. Now, as we turn attention to this beautiful screen, ooh, whoa, little gloves. Anyways, guys, I don't want to get too much into all the techie shit of this car. Remember, here at Miami Miles, we just care about how a car drives. So let's focus on those settings. Now, I've tried every setting in this car that you could imagine in terms of the pedals and the steering. Right here, you have the acceleration mode. You have chill, sport, and plaid, and then you have drag strip mode. I keep the car in drag strip mode because, you know, I don't care about how long the battery lasts. As a matter of fact, I've charged the car already twice in 24 hours. So 390 some odd mile range has dissipated because your boy loves to tear this car up on the street. So I keep it in drag strip mode, which is the most aggressive accelerative mode in the world. What it does is when you tap it, it primes the battery, and then it gives you a little icon right here saying we are ready, with a rocket ship, indicating that we are ready to blast off into space. Now, down here, apart from the acceleration, we'll see the steering mode. The steering mode is super important because it modulates the steering feel and the weight of the yoke. I like it in sport because in comfort, honestly, the car feels slow to react to your inputs. So in comfort, when you turn the wheel, honestly, there's some disconnect between the time you turn the wheel and there's a response from the front tires. Now, I'm actually going to show you that when I'm driving the car. That's why I like driving this car in sport mode. Then besides that, there is a suspension. Now, here's where it gets interesting. This car is an absolute piece of shit with as much power as it has when you drive it in comfort mode. I absolutely hate this car in comfort mode, and nobody talks about it. Like, comfort mode is made, right, if you don't want to drive this car sporty. The moment you start driving it sporty, if you keep it in comfort mode, you feel like the car is gonna come apart at the seams. It just floats over bumps. You feel like you're gonna just shoot off the freeway, off the streets, and into that building, for example. It just feels flat out dangerous. So I like to put the adaptive suspension damping in advanced. And then once I'm in advanced, there are these two little things that you can play with. And I like it firm. I don't like it soft, guys. You know, I'm a firm type of guy. And then down here in the handling characteristic, I like it in sport. That's where I found the car handles the best, absorbs the bumps the rest, and gives you the best confidence to put your foot all the way down to exploit that 1,020 horsepower tri-motor masterpiece of a powertrain. So guys, now you've seen all the settings that I care about. I don't give a shit about all the tech. You can watch all the other videos about that. The question now is, how does this thing drive? How does it make you feel? So let's jump on the freeway here and do a couple pulls so you guys can see just how Mickey becomes very satisfied when he presses the accelerator pedal. That beautiful little chrome masterpiece down there. Anyways, guys, let's hit it. So here I am getting off on an exit somewhere south of Las Vegas. Oh my God. This thing is too damn fast, guys. Oh my God. So I literally just went from a mode where I was going around 70 miles an hour on the freeway, taking it easy, to putting my foot down and unleashing those 3 carbon sleeved electric motors that produce 1,020 horsepower. This car is obscene. It's just so disrespectful how fast it is. Like, how fast is that? Like, my muscles in the neck are straining to keep my head straight while I hit the accelerator pedal. I have never seen a car this damn fast. I am absolutely blown away. And it's just not the speed, it's the immediacy of that accelerator pedal. Literally, it's as if it's connected to my brain. The moment I push it down, boom, I have accelerated at a rate that's unlike anything else. Wow. Oh my God. And look, guys, I'm not being dramatic. The car is that painfully fast. Remember when they used to talk about the Bugatti Veyron, how it used to make your blood rush from the bottom of your body all the way up to your head, and it would make you queasy? That's what this car is. This car makes you sick with its amount of thrust. This electric powertrain is absolutely revolutionary. It's mind-blowing. For those of you that don't know, this car runs a 9-second quarter mile at over 150 miles an hour and accelerates from 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds. In under 2 damn seconds. You know, it's hard to comprehend just how fast that is, but just look at my face when I smash the accelerator pedal. God, it's just painful. It feels like my heart is gonna come out of my mouth. It is that powerful. I've never felt anything like this ever before in a car. Even though that experience is exhilarating indeed, that experience is tied to, you know, a whole other car. A car that has a steering rack and brakes and an experience. So what are those things like? Well, let me start with this steering rack and this yoke. I love this yoke because it's as if you're in a video game. It's as if I'm playing Halo or a first-person shooter. I am in control of my destiny, and this yoke makes it so I want to switch lanes and experience the thrust of this car. It's as if I am launching off an airstrip into the universe, into the stratosphere with the fastest jet-powered engine in the world. This is unlike anything I've ever driven before, guys, and this yoke for sure enhances the experience. But that's where the enhancements of the experience kind of get shot in the face by the steering, because the steering does a poor job of receiving your inputs. Like, literally, look at how I turn the wheel. So turn and then the car reacts. Turn and then the car reacts. There is no immediacy to the turning of the car. There is no sensitivity to the touch with this wheel all the way down to my 2 contact patches on the road. That is one of the car's biggest Achilles heels. The fact that the steering, when you give it input, it doesn't immediately react. And you want that out of your 1,020 horsepower car. Like, look, I'm moving it. You don't even see the car move. right? And that was an obscene amount of speed in just about 3 seconds, guys. It's a little bit sketchy to move the steering wheel, expect the car to dart into the apex of a corner, and the car just stands still. So you have to apply a little more steering force to actually get the car to respond. So that's one of the most frustrating experiences ever in this car. And I think that frustration exudes and leaks out into these brakes. The worst set of brakes I have ever felt in a performance car. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna accelerate a little bit here. Now I'm gonna apply the brakes. Now, oh God, they're so bad. Oh, they're terrifying. Not only do they not have a tremendous amount of stopping power, but you feel absolutely terrified. You feel like you're gonna die because the moment you get on the brakes, the car squats and then starts moving around. I feel like I'm gonna shoot off into the desert and kill myself whenever I get on the brakes. Like, oh man, I just cringe every time I press them, because as you guys know, I am accustomed to the brakes on the best exotic sports cars in the world. And these brakes pale in comparison to those brakes. These brakes are a shame. They should be ashamed to have put these brakes on this level of an automobile. And honestly, the fact that the steering doesn't respond how you want and these brakes suck, right, kind of hinder and put a damper on this experience, because to be frank, this is one of the most exhilarating experiences I've ever felt in a car. And that's a good segue into how this car makes you feel. This car makes you feel like you're driving around something normal until you put your foot down. The moment you put your foot down, you turn into a junkie, a heroin addict, an addict of crack cocaine. You're constantly looking for your next hit, the next opportunity to do this, to put your foot all the way down and feel this car accelerate and blow your brains out with that much force. I have never felt anything like this, but you can see it's like an on and off switch to my smile. The more I press the accelerator, the more I smile. The less I press the accelerator, the more it feels like a normal car. And that's a stark contrast, right, to a regular automotive engine, a gas-powered engine, an internal combustion engine. Those engines, they give you some sense of pleasure when you're going slow. This powertrain gives you no pleasure unless you are ripping your face off accelerating the car. Check this out right now. The moment I press the accelerator, oh yeah, my heart rate goes up and I feel like I'm gonna die, especially with these brakes. Oh man, so how does this car make you feel? It makes you feel like you are gonna launch off the side of a mountain into the bottom and die in a fiery explosion. I don't know how this car is legal. I don't know how Tesla put so much power in a car only to give it these shitty of brakes, this dumb of steering, and I don't know if that's the appropriate word, but the steering that's just, it's dumb, it's slow, it doesn't react how you want it to. Those are some of the most frustrating things. Nonetheless, a hell of an experience, something that everyone should feel. I have never felt anything like this, guys. I have never felt anything like this, and go feel one of these right now. So guys, where does that leave me with this car? To be quite frank, I've had the car for 36 hours or so, and I absolutely love it. I love that this car has this duality in its personality. It can be so gentle, it can be so serene as an electric automobile, and then it can pull out a machine gun and shoot you in the face the moment that you press that accelerator pedal. I've never felt anything like this in an electric car. Finally, this company has achieved fun factor, or a fun factor, unlike any other car, and it had to be achieved with over 1,000 horsepower. I can tell you the P100D was not this fun, the P90D was not this fun, the P85D was not this fun. None of them were this fun. Finally, 1,000 horsepower is the minimum needed to extract a smile from your face over and over and over. It just makes me giddy and giggle like a little kid. If only they would have paired that to better steering and better brakes. Hopefully they can fix some of it with software, but had they only paired it with those two things, this would be one of the best driving experiences in the world. But guys, we can't have it all, you know. Sometimes we're born tall, buff, but with a really small thing, and that's what this car is. It's got its shortcomings, no pun intended. Nonetheless, I absolutely love it. I love it for what it is, and I'm thinking about keeping this car as my daily driver, considering that I've got one already headed on its way to Miami. I just need to get the financing approved. Anyways, guys, I hope that you enjoyed that video. I hope that you enjoyed that review. I absolutely did. I'm in love with this car. Please go down below, give me a thumbs up on the video, give me a subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you, that's right baby, you, next video. Take care.